I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda as presented. Any changes, modifications? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comment. Let's see. Susan Miller, first one up.
Thank you for hearing me out. I just have some questions about House Bill 1003, and I'm assuming you are familiar with the bill. Okay. So are the commissioners currently actively in discussions or negotiations under any preliminary agreement to see Perry County Memorial Hospital sold to Deaconess Health System or any other outside entity at this time?
Okay. What I'm going to do, Susan, just kind of bear with me, is I think there's several people here that would like to speak. So I'm going to write these questions all down
Okay.
rather than going piece by piece. And then your first one is you're asking about any consideration of a sale.
Yes.
I'm going to make notes as we go on. That's what I'm.
So I could give you my questions. They're
Go
already
ahead and
written
repeat
down.
them
Okay.
because the public would, they'll want to hear what you're asking.
Okay. So then my second question is, if the hospital is sold, what legal binding guarantees can the commissioners secure to protect non-patient facing jobs locally, like the billing, HR, medical, compliance, preventing them from being consolidated to a larger systems headquarters or even offshore? I do have a background in the healthcare. I'm the director of HR for a self-funded health plan that uses Jasper Memorial as our primary source. And so I've been knee-deep in the chaos with the sale of Jasper Memorial to Deaconess. So there are some of my reasons behind some of my questions. Okay. And then how will the commissioners ensure that the hospital maintains its current level of local involvement and community-focused leadership and care, rather than having those decisions dictated by a distant corporate board? How do we keep those decisions going to be kept local? Since the commissioners will now effectively control the hospital board under House Bill 1003, what are the specific criteria you're going to use to select the two appointed members? And will those individuals be Perry County residents? And will any of the current board members be reappointed in July because they're doing such a great job? Right. Do the commissioners or any person or group they control or direct request or lobby Representative Steve Bartell to include the hospital board governance language change on page 133 of the bill? I did request that Representative Bartell join us tonight, and he's let me know that he was going to be out of town. I did invite him to come to Perry County, come to the hospital, sit down and talk to the community, employees, and tell what benefits Perry County community could expect from House Bill 1003. It seems like that because there were only 3 counties that hit the population. One of them was Spencer County, one of them was Orange County, and one of them was Perry County, to be impacted by this bill. And the information on page 133, Orange County Hospital is already owned by IU Health, so that doesn't bother them. Spencer County does not have a hospital, so out of all 92 counties in the state of Indiana, that population and the hospital criteria only hit Perry County. So it's interesting. I mean, is that a coincidence, or how did that come to be, and what kind of lobbying and what kind of communication happened between Mr. Bartell as he brought it to the floor for a vote, and then his yes vote? And I know he's not here to answer those questions. He and I have had correspondence through email, and then he did start Facebook messaging me last week. So, but I still have answers or commitment to come share. The other one is, did anybody talk to the current board if there was lobbying or anything going on for the House bill. Were they involved in this decision, and did they know it was going to happen? It says hearsay what they have, but it sounded like it came underneath and they were not aware of what was going on. And then can you guys, the commissioners, commit to holding open, publicly noticed community forums before the final decisions are made if there is a sale or anything that significantly alters the hospital's operational structure?
What was that again? It's
A lot of words there.
So can we just get a commitment from you guys, the community, that if there's any structure, operational structures that's altered from the current version as of June 16th, will the commissioners sit down priorhand and explain themselves and talk to the community? I mean, that hospital's been here 70 years, and we're lucky to have that as a hub of our community. And so everybody is just concerned to be sure that we continue on having the services and the things that we have, and the employment. Those are good paying jobs for skilled and unskilled labor. And then what specific financial risks did the hospital pose to Perry County taxpayers that necessitates the dissolution of such a high functioning board? And where can we find, the community find the current financials for the hospital so that we can see that for ourselves? And then lastly, what expertise does, and please don't take this personal, I'm just asking questions. What personal experience and education and training does the current commissioners have to sit on the hospital board? And if you don't have that training, you don't have that education, that degree or an experience to go with it, what plan do you have to go forward to get you up to stride so you can understand that industry? Because the hospital industry is unlike construction or engineering or anything else. It takes a special skill set. And how are you guys going to obtain that skill set when you do that? And the criteria you're going to use to fill your other 2 seats that you're going to appoint. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Warren Taylor.
Can I reserve my time until you get to the ordinance for the county clerk?
Okay, fair enough. Chris Thornton. Is this related to the hospital also?
It's not, so I can wait if you want to do all the hospital. first.
Probably that would be better. Trying to keep it from being super confusing. So if we kind of stay on one subject matter, and then we'll go through that, and then we'll reach out to, if Warren wants to wait until we get into the coroner, that's later on in our agenda when we pass that. And then we'll take you as soon as this is done. So Brian Herwick.
Thank you. I'm also here about House Bill 1003, that list of questions. I'll give you copies and then also read those for the community. The first question is to the commissioners. Did each of you support language changes to hospital board composition to have county commissioners and county council members replace appointed board members? Second question, did each of you have conversations with current hospital board members indicating your preference and explaining your reasons for supporting this change? Third, there is a rumor circulating that the county commissioners and county council members have an interest in selling Perry County Memorial Hospital. Is this rumor true? If so, is the plan to proceed with the sale within 12 months, 24 months, or some other timeline? Number 4, if you are moving to sell PCMH, what reasons do you have to justify this sale? Number 5, are there issues with the PCMH board or current operations? Have those concerns been shared with the board or administration? Number 6, when will public meetings be held to hear concerns and issues raised by constituents and the employees? Number 7.
Okay, one minute there. You ask about public meetings. Is this concerning the sale? Or which?
I
think we have.
Great. Well, I would think the sale, and
Okay.
with the previous speaker, what commitments will be left for services that will remain in the community, and beyond that, what commitment will remain for the employees that they will be able to remain employed in all of the departments, including the non-clinical departments. Number 7, Thanks for the question. Number 7, did county commissioners or county council members' conversations with Representative Stephen Bartels occur in accordance with Indiana's open door law? Please provide me with a copy of the posted meeting notice, the agenda, and minutes from those meetings. And number 8, what is the experience of each county commissioner and county council member with healthcare finance, quality, patient safety, recruitment, accreditation, outcomes, or regulatory standards? And then my last question is, when will I receive answers to these questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, what we have here is 2 separate issues. We're going to start with the bill and the just current language that occurred. And what you folks are asking tonight is exactly what prompted the commissioners to look for some way to create, and I'm going to use the word transparency. Okay, we're serious about it. It may seem like it's something other than funny, but we're serious about it. And I want to read a description as to what transparency is. Transparency is in the principle that a government unit's operation, decision-making, and use of public funds are open, accessible to the public. It is the foundation of a functioning democracy, allowing citizens to make informed decisions, hold officials accountable, and prevent corruption. What we did in this respect, and I, as anyone knows me, I speak to a lot of people, a lot of times, in a lot of places. And simply, I was asking some of the other commissioners in other counties about serving on the hospital board. Because they do. They serve on the hospital board. And I said, how do you do that? Well, state legislature allows us to do that. So, with just a little bit of research, I found a piece of state legislature that had between 16,700 population and 19,000 population. Commissioners were allowed to serve on a hospital board. The only change that occurred in this law was the change from 19,000 to 20,000, because Perry County's census in 2020 was 19,170 population, probably because of the prison having additional inmates. Or we would be right there right now with no adjustment. I spoke with Steve Bartel, and I stated, I said, what we want to do is when the commissioners have involvement, there will be more transparency within occurrences that happen at the hospital. One thing to remember, and I brought this with me too, is that if you look up on the audited financial statement of Perry County Memorial Hospital, the auditors state, Perry County Memorial Hospital, a component unit of Perry County, Indiana. The hospital is a county hospital. You as taxpayers, you may not realize it, but the hospital is the single highest debt that the county owes. The county has co-signed guaranteeing payment of that debt through your tax dollars. If anything occurs at that hospital, and I'm not stating there is anything happening, it will be the responsibility of the taxpayers of Perry County to pay the debt. As commissioners, we are voted into the office to provide oversight and management to county assets. we feel it's the responsible thing to do to be fully informed with everything that occurs with every unit of county government. There's been a lot of talk, and it's been out on social media and other areas, but we conduct business at this meeting, and I'm glad you're here with your questions. We don't conduct it on social media. I had, during this period of time that everything occurred, I had one hospital board member that reached out to me for clarity. So I don't know where all the rumors, all the stories, all of this comes from. I don't know whether management is sharing that or it's just speculation or what is the involvement here. I have no idea. But I did bring along, and what has actually changed, and the individual asked me this. When we set this up, all we did was follow an existing already statute, just change the population by a notch. It's a 7-member board made up of 3 commissioners, 4 appointees, 2 of them from the council, 2 of them from the commissioners. The current arrangement at the hospital board is 6 people are on the board, which it should be an odd number so there's not a tie, but it is 6, and all 6 are appointed by the commissioners. So when the thought is that now all of a sudden it has changed, the only thing that's changed is now the commissioners will be actively sitting through board meetings with no compensation, so they stay informed as to what's happening at our local hospital. That's all that's changing. When we discussed this, we took it upon ourselves to say, can we transition into this? There is no board members that's going to be removed July 1st. All we're doing is as terms expire, we are going to get ourselves in compliance with the new state statute. So we will do that over a period of time. Anyone serving currently will be eligible to be reappointed by the commissioners or the council. Those that are currently on the board, some terms extend into 2029. They will continue to serve if they choose through this period of time. So we're not kicking anybody off the board. It all comes back to simply wanting to have some transparency with what's happening there. As I stated earlier, the Perry County Hospital bill, or the debt out there, is the single highest debt we have in the county. Now, I looked a couple of these up. They're in our area. Just for example purpose. Davis County Community Hospital, county-owned, non-for-profit. It's located in Davis County, Indiana. Has 3 commissioners serving on the board. It's a 48-bed hospital. Its debt is $173,000 and some change per bed. Good Samaritan Hospital, owned by Knox County. It has all 3 commissioners on it. It's a 158-bed facility, $770,000 per bed is what their debt load is. Greene County General Hospital is another county-owned hospital. It has all 3 commissioners serving on the board. It's a 25-bed hospital, and its debt then is $600,000 per bed. And I dropped Perry County in the bottom, and Perry County is a 25-bed hospital. The debt that the internet says is owed is in a little in excess of $33 million, which puts our debt per bed at $1.3 million and some change. So we're substantially above the other hospitals. We feel that's important, that we're aware of these things to make sure that something doesn't happen that can't be addressed prior to it happening. The earliest or the latest, let me make that point, financial statement that I can find online is 2024. That's a year and a half ago. During that period of time, a lot can happen. We just feel like the commissioners need to be informed, and when informed, share with the public. I did a quick Google search, Perry County Memorial. This is just a headline that I picked up. It says Washington. More than 30 Indiana hospitals have been warned by the Trump administration that they're failing to provide public with basic pricing information, arguing that the lack of disclosure is keeping healthcare costs higher than what they should. It goes on to state something that it's up to $2 million in a fine if you don't get things worked out. And I looked down and it says Perry County Memorial Hospital has a warning notice. I'm completely unaware of that. It may not be a thing to it. But those are the kind of things that we feel that we need to provide some oversight. Not that there's the sky's falling or anything to that nature. It's just simply to make sure we're comfortable with how it operates, what's happening, and to address anything potentially would be a catastrophe or a strain to the local population and the community. And that's our main goals with this. Like I said, this will allow the commissioners to gain operational and financial knowledge related to the hospital, and it'll provide transparency. Now, the second thing I want to go into is the hospital sale. Once again, we have a lot of questions associated with that. And the commissioners have not received or discussed any offers for purchase of the hospital. And I don't believe the council has either. In conjunction with discussions with Deaconess, I had discussions with Deaconess concerning ambulance service. I was provided an opportunity to view a presentation that was to be presented to the Board of Directors of Perry County Memorial Hospital later that afternoon. My presumption is that was presented to the board. As far as I know, I'm unaware of this, whether the board took any action, considered it, has done anything related to that. I have no idea. And there has been no other discussions whatsoever with anyone interested or making an offer for the hospital, unless it has been made to the board and we're unaware of it. So we cannot speak for the board. I think the questions about employment, viability of the hospital, continuing to serve the community is relevant. And in no way, I don't believe that any commissioner that's currently serving would even consider anything but keeping the hospital operational, because it serves a very important need in our community. With that said, I look at the possibilities and I ask myself, is there an opportunity for expansion of services for local residents? Is that potential? Is there a potential for higher utilization of our current existing facility? In other words, more people in the door. With that, is there an opportunity for additional employment? Is it a growth opportunity for us so we can actually expand the hospital? Will it be beneficial to the employees working for a larger firm and having more security? Larger employers have more access to benefit programs. I know we struggle at the county level with the amount of employees we have in maintaining our health insurance and our benefit packages, because we are a small group. And it's difficult. Larger groups have a lot of other flexibility. So would that be a positive? Would removing $33 million worth of debt from the county be a positive? for county residents, taxpayers, along with potential equity payments of some sort. Might come back to the thing and say, do I know anything about this? No. How do we determine if this might be something to consider? There's only one way. We have to engage in a discussion.
With the public.
The public and any suitor that would have interest, because we don't know. And it may be something that it may be a wonderful offer that someone would just be fantastic, or it may be something that we wouldn't even consider at any moment. But until we engage in a conversation, it's speculation. And that's what we're hearing tonight, is a lot of speculation, because as far as the county's concerned, the hospital sale hasn't even been discussed.
I didn't even mention.
We haven't done that. So we're kind of,
I think social media got a little carried away. I don't get on social media, I don't. But I've had people ask me, are they going to sell the hospital? And I said, the first I've heard of it,
so.
don't know. We don't know anything about it.
So
I mean, that's,
with that, let me see if there's some things on here that I missed.
I know the hospital out here, I've heard a lot of good things, with the wound care, the cardiac rehab, the different opportunities that the hospital has to offer, and I want to see it grow. No matter who owns it, I want to see it grow and I want to see it stay here. I want it to have more employees. I want it to have better benefits for their employees. Who wouldn't? I mean, I'm on 64 more than I am in town, going back and forth to Louisville to the doctors. I want to see some doctors like that come in there. Can it expand so it can have those type of specialists I need, or anyone else in this county or surrounding counties? Because it's needed. And sure, I'd rather drive out here than I would to Louisville twice a month. Absolutely. I had to go, matter of fact, I had to go today out of state to see an endocrinologist. And when I could go out here if there was one that could probably do the same type of things that, do they? Well, see, I didn't know that. Yeah, see, I think a lot of stuff like the specialists that's coming in, it should be gotten out to the public to know, because it's like me, I don't know. I didn't know it until you just said it. And, it saves me it would save a lot of people time and travel and help, families and healthcare workers that have to take care of these people. And I think it would be a great thing if it could expand. I really do.
So, Brian, do you have any additional questions that I haven't answered?
The question I'd ask.
Please come up here, because she does the minutes off of her recording, and if she can't hear it, she can't do it.
I guess I appreciate that you're going to open the dialogue. I would like to know, it sounds like just you asked Steve Bartels to change the law. That's what I heard you say. The other thing I heard you say is you've changed the law so the commissioners can be on the board, but you're not going to replace anybody on the board until their term expires. That's contradictory. The law says beginning July 1, 2026, 3 commissioners are on that board. So you'll be violating the law in 2 weeks.
This is a legal matter that we're getting into. We may be in violation, but our county attorney drafted the whole ordinance and the replacement schedule. And if somebody provides litigation against the county stating that the county attorney is incorrect, then we'll visit that issue. But currently, under the system, we are having 7 board members. Currently, there's only 5, which will allow the new board member, the 7th, that never was in existence, to be a commissioner. And we have a vacancy, so a commissioner will go on. So we'll only have 2 commissioners on there until terms expire.
So
Now, if
that's,
if that's a violation, then we're gonna have to bring that up. If you have a specific legal counsel that states that's the case, I would encourage you to get with our county attorney because he said we are well within our rights to do that on a transitional basis to put us in compliance. Now, maybe you're correct and it needs to be brought to his attention because he has told us and he's developed the plan where we don't have to remove anyone from the board. That's not our intention.
and so the ordinance you're talking about is on the agenda later in this meeting?
Yes.
Is that- Okay, so we haven't seen that, so that'll be, okay. The other thing I would ask then in terms of board membership is there's nothing that would preclude a commissioner from being appointed now.
Yes, there is right now.
What is that?
In Indiana law, right now under the hospital pays board members a fee and we cannot, it's kind of a double dipping
Oh,
It's a
thing.
dual
And we
payment.
cannot
That's
take
not
a
allowed.
payment as a commissioner and take a payment as a board member. So with this change, we will no longer, we will not be eligible for any kind of payment from the hospital. We can't do that. So it takes
The
away
commissioners,
the
they
dual,
won't be allowed to take any
Yeah.
compensation.
so
Mm-mm.
Did
Thank
you
you.
answer his question as far as the first one?
what was the first one?
What was your first question? Your first question, you didn't answer. The first question.
You asked if he was the one that asked Steve Bartels to put this in.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I had a discussion with him.
just you,
Yeah, I think so.
okay.
Because I
Because in
said,
your thing, you kept saying, we the commissioners, and I as your administrator. And I think that is a lot of the problem that I'm hearing from the public, is that there's not meetings. There's nothing, there's things that are being, if there's two, I mean, you're saying, we the commissioners discuss this, we the commissioners want this, well, there's not been any meetings where you guys have discussed that, and then all of a sudden, it's in the bill, and when you ask Steve Bartels, he says, that's what you guys wanted. And I've attended rarely missed meetings, and I think that's a lot of the thing that keeps happening, and I'm not faulting you guys for doing and working for the community and working for the county, but you have to follow open door law, and you do not many times. So it's either A, you guys had a discussion about this and a quorum was present and you discussed this and then you took it to Steve Bartels, or one person themselves had this discussion with Steve Bartels, and here we are, and the community's caught off guard with information in a bill that they had no idea was going to happen. And that's just my assumption and what I have seen and heard from the community over the last little bit. And being your administrator, I don't remember any meeting where you guys discussed anything with taking anything to the state level to get some legislation changed on this. That's just what I'm hearing. So I don't know which one it is. And I think we've run into this many times, at least I can know a lot of times, where things are being done, but there's no meeting that happened to where, how did we get here? And either A, I can't get the answer, are you guys discussing things outside of open door law? Or is one person making the decisions and moving forward? So that's the synopsis of what I'm hearing.
you should have got on the list here.
Well, it's a valid question, Randy.
And you should
that's what-
have got on the list and addressed it to us.
The question was just asked to you.
So when you said earlier.
Well, here's what,
Would you use the?
and again, that's why I'm telling you, see, the only change is the population. It went from 19,000 to 20,000.
But it
It's not a-
only affects this hospital and, these other three counties, that's a joke.
Well, I did not write it. It just was expanded so the commissioners could have a more active participation in the board when that hospital has our single largest debt. Single largest debt. My question again, Brian, of the administrators at the hospital, Are you aware how many actually work for Perry County Memorial Hospital? Or do they work for a different third party? And I'll answer it for you. I'm unaware whether they do or not. I'm unaware if the officers at the hospital actually are under the same benefit program and the same restrictions as the employees are. Are they? I don't know.
Well, the CEO and CFO are Deaconess employees. The rest of the administrative team are Perry County Memorial Hospital. I don't know. I would imagine the Deaconess employees might be getting Deaconess benefits. The wonderful CNO they have is a Perry County employee, lives in Perry County, and I would imagine she gets, but I don't know that.
Okay, with that stated right
And the other
there,
thing though, you.
please come back up here, because Lisa's gonna say, I can't hear what's
I
saying.
appreciate that. The other thing you talked about is the debt the hospital carries, because you have a 10, 12-year-old beautiful building. Greene County, I know the CEO at Greene County, she's fighting to stay open. And I can research articles where she said, given the big ugly bill, they're struggling to keep the doors open. So they have low debt, but they might not be. Part of this is you've got the building, you've got a new ambulance garage, at no cost to the county. And so, and if you're saying that you're gonna come in, there's gonna be no changes, you still have that $33 million loan to pay down. The hospital's been paying that off year after year after year, and they have to, by the agreements, they have to keep a year of loan payment in the bank, and they have. We did that during COVID, if you can believe it. So, it would be a big burden for the county, should you have to tax for the hospital. Last I knew, that wasn't in the realm of possibility, so.
But at the same time, you made the statement about Greene County. And Greene County obviously goes through the same similar payment schedule as what Perry County would. I think it's a 25-bed critical care hospital.
Yes.
It's exactly the same. So if Greene County is struggling, what happens if Perry County begins to struggle? They're compensated similarly, primarily, I'm sure, through Medicaid, Medicare. That's where most of it comes from. So if they're struggling, what happens when Perry County begins to struggle? And should we, as commissioners, not be fully aware of it when it starts to happen, to see if there's any kind of actions, anything maybe we can do something politically, I don't know, but to inform us so that we can take any kind of action that would prevent an issue. And that's just information is all that it's amounts to, and keeping us up to speed.
Here's the other thing, and I appreciate you gave me the opening. But should there be political action? Yes. As Republicans, don't cut Medicaid, don't cut Medicare, don't cut public health funding. That's what's struggling. Don't change the reimbursement. The federal match that will go in effect in 2027, which will affect every hospital. Part of the beauty of working with a larger health system, and I think that's a great idea, and I think Deaconess is doing a great job. Part of the ability for them to do that is they have these funding schemes that help that come. We have the prescription drug program. It's at the 340B cut. Our governor cut that now, and then he put some money into a rural health bill that's somehow magically going to roll back to Perry County. But he also cut it from Deaconess. Deaconess supports the hospital because they make a profit. And you keep whittling away at all of these funding mechanisms, and nobody is looking at the strategic implication and the tie from one thing to another. But these, there's an article, I think somebody had on Facebook, I could pull it up. ED use has gone up 25% because people don't have health insurance. It's the most costly form of care. You don't want people in ED unless they're having an emergency. But because the federal law says you get federal money, you'll see everybody that comes. So use your political power and let's get back. And Why don't we have universal health care for all? Thanks for that opening. I love that.
Well, thanks for the political, this commentary you brought here. We're actually talking about Perry County Memorial Hospital, but if you want to take it into an advocacy, by all means do that, but we're going to have a commissioners meeting here, but thank you.
No, I
for your
appreciate
time.
that, but you did say there's maybe some.
If we
policy
can do
issues.
something that saves the hospital, we will go out of our way as commissioners to carry out that. Because we live here, we're taxpayers, we're part of this community, and we want that hospital to be here for years and years to come.
Great.
We do have a fantastic facility out there.
Top
Trust me,
100.
it is nice.
They just received.
We want to continue with
You know, I
having a
think-
top-notch facility.
I think everything has been put the cart before the horse here. There's been no sale talk, there's been none of that. I don't know,
Unless the board has engaged in it, we're unaware of it.
I'm totally unaware of any of that.
Thank you.
Susan, if you've got a question, come up and
If
we'll
we
try to move
should
this along.
ever are questioned with the hospital about that, you all will be the first ones to know, because I don't know anything about it.
So I just have a follow-up, all right? So there's been some questions asked and some things brought forward, and then we add other questions, and we never get back to the original question.
Okay.
So, did you personally have a meeting with Steve Bartel without a quorum or without anybody else and ask for the House Bill 103 to raise the population by what you said, probably because of the prison, so that Perry County was indicated, so the commissioners could then go onto the board? So was that because, he's asked it, Chris asked it, but we haven't got an answer.
I didn't have a personal meeting with him, but I had a phone conversation.
Okay, that's a,
If that's what we're gonna call a meeting, and I said, currently, Steve, multiple other counties allow the commissioners to serve on the hospital board. We would like that opportunity, and is there a way to do that so that we can bring transparency to some of these actions back for the people in our county, given the fact that the hospital is the single highest debt the county has? Remember, $33 million.
and I don't think anybody is at any point saying that is not an accurate statement. We have a new facility, so obviously the debt's going to be higher than some of these other counties. But here again, I heard you say "we," but then 15 minutes ago, when you were asked if the other commissioners had that conversation or if it was just you, we heard we didn't know anything about it. So it still sounds like Randy and Steve had a personal conversation, not the commissioners, that said, hey, our population is this. Can you boost that number out so we're hit, so we get on the board? And I'm just saying what I hear and what the perception is. And unfortunately, in this day and age, perception is reality.
Okay, so let me change your perception
Okay,
real quick.
I hope you do. I want you
Okay.
to.
Because in passing times before, and this has went on through appointments for years, the question has came up about commissioners serving on there. At one time, it's been years ago, we asked the county attorney. And I don't know how many years ago, it's because you can't have dual
I
compensation.
get that. I understand.
You can't do that.
Okay.
And so it's been an ongoing thing. So my simple question was, and I did research, you could do it on the internet,
I
as to
researched
how other counties are achieving this. And when you look through Indiana code, you will find that section. And it simply would need nothing more than to raise the population. And I had that discussion with him. This would give us the opportunity to provide seats or availability for commissioners, with that bringing some transparency to the hospital and what happens. And I'm going to share something with you. When, what's the company that came? Ascension
Mhm.
was actually the provider at the hospital. The night before they announced that Deaconess was taken over, I received a call from the board president, and he stated, tomorrow morning, we're announcing we're switching. That's how much information was shared with the commissioners. So there's been lack of transparency on what's going on, and this is what brings these things forward.
Okay, so then the follow-up to that, is there not another way to get information? I literally get an inbox full of reports every day from from companies and people that I work with. I don't have to sit on their board. There is a process where they give me that information on a regular basis that I can review and ask questions. I don't have to sit on the board to have that information. So that means, was there no other way?
We could have, but during this ambulance negotiation, and I have the email, I didn't bring it with me, we were requesting as the county and the council and commissioners to sit down with the board to have a discussion, because the hospital provides ambulance service
Right.
for the county.
It's
Okay.
wonderful.
And we wanted to have a discussion with the board. The board has signed all of our contracts from back in 1980s through the early ones when they built the hospital, the board has always signed that. What we wanted to do is to sit down with the board and have an active discussion with them. In my email, I was told that's not possible, that dealing with the county is no different than dealing with Morrison's cafeteria service, signing a contract with them, and the only person you need to deal with is the CEO. And there's no reason to meet with the board. And he said, I could bring JD along, but that would be the limit. So he's telling us we can't have that conversation with the board in an email, and I can provide it if necessary.
That would be awesome. And then the other part of the question that wasn't answered is, what expertise and education do you have in hospital administration that you feel will make you as confident as the current board members are, even if they're not going off till the 29? And if you don't have that, what is the county's plan or your personal plan to get you up to speed on healthcare? Because healthcare is a different animal. It is not road construction or anything else. There are lots of things that go into governing that. That takes a lot of time and research.
And every time we make an appointment to the board, you have a person that has to go through a learning
Oh,
curve.
yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
they have to have a foundation to start with. So what's your plan to get there? Because I hear you saying that you may not have it, but I'll have to get there. So what training has that even been a thought, how you get the commissioners up to speed? Because your expertise that you have are different than mine or different than the current board. So how do you get on board with that? How do you get there?
We're not gonna walk in the door the first time we walk into a meeting and have all the answers. No one does that.
It's
You
basically.
have to have the capability to understand, to read, to study, to ask questions. That's why you never want to turn a board over 100%. That's why when they turn around, they have a 1 year, a 2 year, a 3 year. You carry over some of the knowledge with your board. It's just a common practice. That's exactly what we're doing.
Well, I think that's your perception. I'm not sure it's the voters' perception.
You
But
know,
thank you for your time. I
I see.
appreciate you.
I see where your question's coming from there. And when I was elected, I came to a lot of meetings over the years. And was it a learning curve? You better believe it.
I've
Am I-
spent 36 years in healthcare administration.
It's still a learning curve.
I learn every day because it is that hard.
Yep. I
It
learned,
changes every 5 minutes.
yep, and it does with us as commissioners also, because you have so many state statutes, you got ordinances, you got everything that you have to look at, you have to, it's stuff to keep up on. And will I ever learn it all of it? Oh, good grief, no. But what I have learned, I know now, and it makes me more knowledgeable of things, and I think it's a good thing.
Chris?
Thanks for allowing me to come talk today. So I got 3 updates from the Hoosier National Forest. I'm Chris Thornton. I'm the district ranger here in Tell City for the Hoosier. So first of all, just wanted to tell you how proud I am that the the Hoosier can contribute to the county's coffers. We've contributed $210,000 and some change through the Secure Rural Schools Act and payment in lieu of taxes in 2025. So pretty excited to report that as a Perry County resident as well. Second, I just wanted to thank, I don't see Dave in here, but the Sheriff's Department for their recent help at Rainbow Lake with the enforcement of all the problems we've had out there lately. So we really appreciate that. I was out there a couple of weeks ago with our law enforcement officers and got an eye full.
That's a shame what's going on out there.
Yeah, we're working on
It's a
it,
shame.
trying to get it more to be a family-oriented place.
Mhm.
So we'll get there, just gonna take a while. And last thing, we have an agreement with the county for Mano Point. And Randy, you and I probably, right when I took this job, we met with Nancy Myers and we talked that through. The agreement was, we would reopen the bathroom there and we would do the mowing and clean the parking lot, empty the trash, and the county would every now and then clean the boat ramp off. And so we got that back open. We had a leadership team for the forest meeting a few weeks ago, and we talked about Mano Point. And there's some concern on our part about the bathroom now. Just being an environmentally conscious organization as the Forest Service is, when the bathroom floods, when the river floods, you can imagine what also leaves the bathroom. And so there's a lot of concern from the National Forest people about that bathroom remaining open. Kind of wanted to get your thoughts if we eventually close the bathroom. What's the county's feeling on our agreement? We would still mow the area, would still love to have people to be able to launch their boats there, but having a bathroom that's in the flood zone that is contaminating the river every time it floods is not something we want to keep doing. So just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So you're catching us completely off guard.
I am,
My
yeah.
next question to you is, would the Forest Service consider transferring that to like the county parks system?
We'd always talk about it. I'm not an expert in exchanging land. There's some things with Mano Point that are special to us. It's actually a big archaeological site as well. So there's a lot of history there. And then it's difficult for the federal government to sell land, believe it or not. We can trade land. We can do permits to have other people manage land, but definitely willing, I know I'm catching you off guard, but definitely willing to talk about stuff like that in the future.
The other thing is maybe rather than selling it, maybe some type of a longer term lease. I know they have in Derby an active community group up there that may be interested in participating. I think sitting down at the table, maybe there's a solution, maybe not. I mean, we're open to discussions how it's a nice facility. I know just the way the river bends through there, we spend a lot of time cleaning it off.
We appreciate it.
It's just part of it. It's just how the silt comes in, and it's one of those issues, but it is a nice area, and I think it's visited during the summer quite often. And whatever we can do to continue to have that opportunity for not only residents, but people who visit the county, I think it's a plus.
So your advice would be to get together with you guys?
At a time, we could sit down and just basically throw some ideas out on the table
I'd be more than happy.
and see what we might come up with, and maybe invite the Derby people,
Yeah, definitely.
to participate too, and to see if there's some common ground that makes sense for everybody, and we could work something out.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Right on. Thanks for coming. So Warren, you're wanting to wait till we get to the ordinance?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, and we'll hold him until that time. Next item up is approval of the minutes from 5/29/2026.
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes from 6/1/2026.
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Steve Howe, he has an application for crossing Spring Road. with an aerial line. That's Comcast, correct, Steve?
Yes,
So,
just need to get your approval on this line. It's 400 some feet. It's gonna be overhead, so it won't go through the road or anything.
It's just going over the road, all of us, right?
Is that gonna affect any of your mowing equipment or any of your equipment at all?
No, it
Okay.
shouldn't affect
And I think all they're doing is upgrading their service.
Yeah.
Which is a plus.
Okay.
you guys want to sign on that.
We're gonna have a motion first. I'd entertain a motion to approve the aerial crossing of Spring Road.
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye. How long is that gonna take, Steve? Do they have any idea?
I don't know if it's said on there or not. I read this through. I don't remember what it said, but it shouldn't take this.
Okay, where is Spring Road?
Goes from the hospital to the armory.
Hospital to the Armory, okay.
The substation they got, or what the
Mhm.
electric station there.
What we refer to, which is all.
Which is hard, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Next item up is payroll for 6/19/2026 in the amount of $181,092.41.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll withholding for the same date, 6/19/2026 in the amount of $38,008.15.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Health insurance claims in the amount of $13,203.29.
Make a motion.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Solid waste claims for 6/16/2026 in the amount of $12,983.39.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable for 6/16/2026 in the amount of $77,008.79.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Warrant. We're up to the coroner's fund ordinance.
I just got it. I just got a couple of questions on the ordinance. Andrew sent me a copy of it. And he basically put in everything. Well, he did put in everything I asked for. There's a couple areas that I got to hold this. I broke my glasses, so. A couple places in there, it talks about, something about the council, county council's appropriation unless otherwise provided by law. I don't understand what the council has to do with these funds. They don't provide these funds to this ordinance. This is money that has been donated. We got 3 different funds that doesn't fall under the county council's control. And I don't understand why he's got anything in here about the county council having control over.
Have you spoke to him about this?
I just got it this evening and I read it because I've been laid up.
Mhm.
But to me, the approval of our claim should be the commissioners, not having to run through the county council because they don't provide any of this money in these funds at all. It's the donations.
You're gonna have to bring this up with Andrew because the state statutes in a lot of cases, depending on where the money was collected, and if it comes into county government, has specific requirements on how it's dispersed. And I'm completely unfamiliar about these donation funds as to whether this is the case. So what we'll do is we'll just table it, but I ask Andrew as to why he added that as far as, it may require it.
Okay.
I have no idea, but that would be a question for him.
Have you read the ordinance for the Veterans Donation Fund?
No.
It might be good to look at
I
that.
think he still has to appropriate. I think he's got it listed in there. He has to appropriate
Yeah.
the council as well. So
Okay,
these are,
I didn't know if it was or
That was
not.
the only question I had was what the council has to do with it. I know last year in the budget hearings, the council questioned me on these 3 funds because they said if you don't use any of the money within a year, it goes into the general budget
Mhm.
or general fund. But
not a donation fund within the general.
it goes into the money is reverted back and goes to the general fund if I don't use the money out of these funds. And then all the statute, I think, from the state says as long as there's $1 spent out of each fund,
It's
I
active.
think,
The council can't have it.
I think you're getting a little, you can have a non-reverting fund, and that is a fund that continues year after year. And then you have a reverting fund that is budgeted, and if it's not spent, then it reverts to the general fund
but
for
the
next year's
okay, the
budget.
council
So-
don't give any of this, the council does not appropriate any of this money for these. I've actually got 3 different accounts.
Okay, I get that. It's donations is what it is.
Right,
But a lot of the things, it's just like when we go through State Board of Account audits, they audit everything.
Yeah.
And they come back in and they look for, as an example, I'm gonna use the veterans. They came in and they asked for the records as to the individuals who received gas cards and all information associated with them. They wanted 1099s provided to each one of those
That's right.
individuals. A lot of that money came in through donations, but when it comes into the county, it gets monitored by
right.
state government,
I
and
turn
it
it
puts
all-
all these new kind of restrictions on it. So get with Andrew on it, but in all likelihood, it's probably something that the county's going to manage it. So that's why we say that it's always easier if you have a nonprofit to keep the money collected outside of county government. Gives you a lot more flexibility of what and how you can do with it. And it's just the rules we have to play by.
Okay, like I said, that's what, the rest of the ordinance, I don't have a problem with, because he covered about everything, because we use these funds when we don't have enough money in our regular line items.
Right.
To help offset some costs, like last year we bought a copier. We didn't have any money appropriated in the budget for a copier, so we moved stuff around, took some of these funds to help pay for it. So that was my main concern about what the council had to do with it.
What we'll do is we'll go ahead and get with Andrew, and then
Okay.
we'll just table it, and we'll put it back on for our next meeting,
Okay,
if you get an answer.
okay, good enough, thanks.
I'd entertain a motion to table the coroner fund ordinance.
Make a motion.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item up is our ordinance related to compliance with the new Indiana Code 1622-2. And it's where the commissioners will now be eligible to serve on the board of the hospital. Any discussions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve it.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item up, we have the Jackson Kelly invoice. And that one is related to an ongoing lawsuit,
Solid Waste Midwest,
solid waste. Yeah, this is,
Advanced Disposal Services.
and it's actually, we've actually done some research. It goes back to Viola.
In 2010.
Yeah, so it's sometimes, and their representative, they filed a lawsuit against the county concerning our discontinuance of their service, so. I'd entertain a motion to pay that out of our C-Edit funds. It's the account we get to catch all that we use.
I'll make a motion. It's gotta be paid.
I got a motion, and I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Pulse Point invoice. I think that's the reoccurring first responder program, and we have some money set aside for that service also.
That's
Into the general
8,000?
fund. Yep. It's for an annual, and it's integrated with the CAD service
Okay.
at the dispatch. Notifies first responders in the event of a need.
This is, right here it says, planning purposes, your next renewal amount will be increased by 8%, so it'll be 8640 the next
Year. This is a nonprofit company that
Yeah.
provides these services all over the country. So they seem to be pleased with it, the last conversations I had with them.
Okay. And that's the AED registry, the unlimited use of all responder types.
Yeah, we are actually, that's gonna be part of the integrated process to when we get our stations out into the county in
Mhm.
different areas. It also has the capabilities, and we haven't got it done yet, just like the AED over in the corner. It has every ability to have every AED located within the county in the system. So if a first responder or someone that is on the pulse point system has a need, they know exactly where to go. And
And where's that
That's part-
supposed to be paid out of?
it needs to come out of the money in the general fund that was transferred at the end of '24.
Okay.
So
That was set aside, wasn't it?
we have a fund set aside for that. So, any other discussions? I'd entertain a motion to approve the Pulse Point invoice.
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's the end of our agenda. Our next meeting we're going to have is a executive session dealing with employment issues. That's going to be on Wednesday, the 24th at 11 a.m. It's not open to the public due to the sensitivity of it. Our next regular commissioner meeting will be Monday, July 6th at 9 a.m. And with that stated, I want to wish everyone a wonderful 4th of July. It's been 250 years developing this country. I know we have our challenges, but I think we've done quite well for ourselves, and we should be proud of where we are as U.S. citizens and people serving the world. I mean, I think it's amazing what's been accomplished. So with that said, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
We have our board meeting